Happy Monday. I've just done a video on the 85741. You can find that on YouTube. I'm going to go to 85704. All of these videos that I'm doing is just for informative purposes. They change these statistics, obviously change every month depending on how many homes sold and um, other other things that influence the market. Um, but the reason why I do these videos is obviously to educate you so that you're the most informed when you're ready to purchase or sell your property. I've explained a lot more reasons as to why I do this in other of my videos. I'm probably going to have to create a video explaining the reason why I create the videos and what I'm trying to accomplish and how to protect you, so on and so forth. But, anyways, let's start with 85704. Again, I have explained in other videos if you're only going to be looking at this one, um, because this is the zip code that you live in, is I am selecting homes that are 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms of single family residences. I'm not including townhomes. I'm not including condos. I'm not including manufactured residences because then that would throw off all of the results. Okay. And why am I utilizing 3 bedrooms, 2 baths? Is because that is the most wanted home when people are ready to purchase. Even if they don't need the space, they might utilize it as an office. But a lot of people want to grow into a house. And based on the prices right now, a lot of people think that if the house is like really expensive, they don't really want to pay that for very a small amount of space. I mean, unless they're willing to pay a lot to live closer to downtown areas and stuff like that. But that is very um, goal specific for the type of buyer that you might be. Um, so in 85704, once I pull my comps, I'm going to compare it to the zip code right next to it, which is 85741. What is the point of this? I'm trying to prove that when people ask, how's the market doing? It is very market specific. I'm going to further say that if you come and say how much you think my home is worth, I would probably ask you what your subdivision is so that I can pull comps specifically in that subdivision. And if there's not enough homes inside of that subdivision, I would only pull comps probably half a mile out or a mile, depending on how rural the area is. But basically, this is just for information purposes. 8574, 85704. We're going to do a one line market CMA so that we can see the average days in the market, the median price per square foot. We can see the average price per square foot. And we can also see, what was the lowest price of home sold, so on and so forth. I like to show that even if I created subdivision specific videos, which I should eventually at some point in time, there's so many subdivisions in every city that it would take a long time to get around to. But as you can see, there's so many subdivisions. The difference in the year built, the different in lot sizes. That's why we have to get really subdivision specific, is because a lot of subdivisions might have similar sized homes, but some of them have a lot more land, and that gives it a higher value. Some people don't realize this. And or let's just say that the home is 2 stories versus 1 story. That changes the value of the home. So let's just keep this in mind. The more land the home has, the higher the value. Okay. I have never really understood why a larger home could cost less than a smaller home. And the explanation has always been because of the land. Okay. So, house sold, as you can see on this list in this specific subdivision, I think it is probably, excuse me, zip code. I think that the reason why a lot of these are cash and conventional loans is probably because of the price range. You don't see any FHA loans. It's probably because the price ranges in this specific zip code exceed the maximum amount that you can borrow on FHA loans. It could also be because right now the best loan to have if you're trying to purchase a house is a conventional loan, which requires 3 to 20% down, depending on your credit, so on and so forth. There's a couple, but very little VA loans. And then there's another, which could have possibly been like a seller finance or something of that. You don't see those much, but whatever it may have been, it could have been a 1099 exchange. But as we move on, we can see, the differences in prices, and we can see the differences in price per square foot. We can start at the lowest one at 160. Actually, that may not be the lowest one, because it's not in order. The lowest one might be 159.84, and then what could possibly be the highest is 377.28. But anyways, let's go to the median price per square foot is 208.33. The average price per square foot is 217.20. The average days on the market in this specific zip code is 21 days. Median price per square foot, as you can see, obviously this does exceed FHA guidelines, 459,000. The highest sold home was 770,000. The lowest price was 275,000. And the average price was 482,117. Okay, so let's do what we've done in other videos, and let's compare this to the previous zip code that I was talking about, which is 85741. So as you can see, side by side. So here's the thing. In the last video, I was explaining that it kind of ticks me off when people get outside of the subdivision specific comps, because I can have this home for sale and another agent can be like, oh, I'm going to pull comps from 2.5 miles out. Maybe the comparable is in the 85741 zip code, or maybe it is in the 85718 zip code, which make it even worse because it's approaching the Catalina foothills, which would be giving me a lot more value than what it really is worth. So watch for that. Subdivision specific comps. Okay. Do yourself for a service. Don't accept like a really ridiculous overpriced offer for somebody that has a loan, because it may not appraise. I mean, unless they're waiving the appraisal contingency or something of that nature. Also, if you're purchasing a house and you don't have the cash, you got to be really careful as to what you're offering, and you got to be really careful as to how your real estate agent is pulling comparables, because sometimes they really don't know how to pull comparables properly. There's a lot of brokerages that don't train their agents properly, and I've seen this. I've actually been a transaction coordinator for an agent that was pulling comps from 5 miles out. And the house obviously didn't appraise. It was $35,000 off. I'm not going to mention any names, but I was extremely surprised because the agent has a lot more business than I do. And I just couldn't believe how that could have happened. But anyways, let's look at the differences between 85704 and 85741. This one is the one for 85741. And we're going to start at the days on market right here. And this one, that one's 85745. So, okay. So, average days on the market for 85741. Excuse me, 85704 is 21 days on the market. Right next to it, it was 10 days. See how different it is? You might be talking to a friend that says, oh, my house sold on the very first day. That doesn't mean anything, because everything is market specific. Some things move faster than other things. I've been selling homes in Maricopa, and those things move in 31 days. It doesn't move on the first day all the time, because there's a lot more inventory. There's a lot more things to take into consideration. All right. There's also different price points in this specific zip code, which is the 85741, as compared to the 85704. The median price point is 308,400. In the 85704, the median price is $459,000. Remember, the higher up the prices, the longer the days on the market. If we move on to the highest price sold in 85704 is $770,000. The highest price sold in the 85741 was $585,000. Okay, that's why it has lower days on the market. And then the lowest price was $220,000. In 85704, the lowest price was $275,000. The average price in 85704 was $482,117. And then in 85741, the average price was $316,858. So that's why we're seeing lower days on the market in this specific zip code. And like I said, if we go to the specific subdivision, that's going to have different days on the market. That's going to have a different median price per square foot. That's going to have different median, high, low, average prices. That's how comparables work. There's a lot of information out there, a lot of inaccurate information, and me giving you statistics on zip code specific market analysis is also inaccurate if you're trying to price your home or if you're trying to purchase a home. This is just for information purposes, to create content to put out for you, to educate you, to show you that there are differences in different areas of Tucson. That's why when somebody says, oh, mine sold for 100K over, that doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything if they're not in your specific subdivision. Right? So I hope you like, share, comment, thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever you'd like. If you need comparables for your specific home, reach out to me, 520-249-7029. My email is marketingadri@gmail.com. I am Adriana Vildosola with Coldwell Banker Realty. I hope to see you in my next video.